AMD stock has spent most of 2024 trending downward. Almost a year later, it's hovering just above $117, nearly down 37% from its 52-week high. Will AMD continue in this slump, or is there a catalyst big enough to turn the tide? My name is Rick Orford, and I help investors like you make more informed decisions with your money. While I'm not a financial advisor, I have been trading stocks and options since 1999, which means I've seen recessions, corrections, bear markets, and even a financial crisis. And you all know how much I love researching new stocks and finding the next best investment. So I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. The Motley Fool is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for investors of all skill sets and risk levels. So I'm proud to partner with the Motley Fool to bring you 10 stock picks from their popular product, Stock Advisor. Stock Advisor has beaten the market by more than 5 times, and you can scan this QR code or visit fool.com/ricko to get your 10 stock picks right now. Advanced Micro Devices, or AMD, is a global semiconductor company specializing in high-performance computing, graphics, and visualization technologies. It designs and manufactures microprocessors, graphics processing units, or GPUs, and other semiconductor products for data centers, personal computing, gaming, and embedded systems. In terms of the GPU market share, AMD has been playing catch-up to Nvidia for the better part of the last decade. At the same time, it's also been Intel's arch-rival in the CPU market, although in this aspect, AMD seems to be faring better, with analysts seeing it potentially surpassing Intel's supremacy in the coming years. If we compare AMD with Intel, AMD has always marketed itself as a cheaper, more budget-friendly alternative for both the PC and server markets. And here's a fun fact. Members of my Discord server refer to Intel, Nvidia, and AMD as Team Blue, Team Green, and Team Red. Interesting, eh? AMD primarily engages in 3 key segments: data centers for servers and AI-related businesses, client and gaming, which covers its CPU and GPU LOBs and caters mostly to retail consumers, and of course we have embedded, which covers network and storage solutions. In recent years, AMD has been capitalizing on its growth by acquiring several companies like Xilinx, Nod.ai, Silo AI, and the latest ZT Systems. These acquisitions are geared towards expanding its portfolio and improving its AI offerings. However, since March of 2024, AMD's stock has been on a downward trend. While other semiconductor and AI-adjacent companies have grown over the last year, the stock is more than 48% below its all-time high of $227.30, mostly due to softer-than-expected results in its data center segments and lower demand for its GPUs last year. If we look under the hood of AMD's most recent first quarter 2025 financials, you might see a reason to be optimistic. Revenue improved noticeably year over year, growing 36% to $7.4 billion, mostly driven by its data center segment, which grew 57% year over year. And the good news doesn't stop there. Net income for the quarter was $709 million, with an impressive 476% growth from the same quarter last year. Now, excellent year-on-year growth on both the top and bottom lines is great, but it's the future prospects that really propel a stock. So for that, we need to take a look at AMD's risks and catalysts. I'll call it the bull and bear case of AMD. So, first off, AMD has always been the underdog in the Intel-Nvidia rivalry. There was a time when Nvidia and AMD were neck and neck, but that was back in the early 2000s. These days, Team Green has a massive market cap lead on Team Red, with Nvidia being worth $3.3 trillion to AMD's $190 billion. Meanwhile, Nvidia's revenue is more than 1,600 times that of AMD. And by the looks of it, Nvidia is taking full advantage of that lead. Due to its demand, Nvidia continues to innovate in the AI space, and it's also expanding on other fronts like quantum computing. So, clawing back market share from Nvidia as they're already the de facto AI supplier will probably be a bit of an uphill battle. Next, and it's a similar situation with many US-based companies, is tariffs. Tariffs are projected to impact AMD's business by about $1.5 billion in 2025. AMD CEO Lisa Su has mentioned that it'll affect the business in the short term, which, unless they know something that I don't or hasn't been made public, well, it sounds a bit optimistic. There's too much news flying around about potential trade deals and concepts of a plan that makes it hard for businesses to plan for the future. Yes, we've had a recent trade deal with China, but it's only for 90 days, and a 3-month time horizon isn't really investable. By the way, the data used in this video is powered by bar chart. It's one of my favorite tools that lets you find data on thousands of tickers and filter by price, volume, sector, and more so you can find winning opportunities in seconds. I use it every day, and you can set up a free account by scanning this QR code or click the link in the description. Countries like China and Taiwan produce a good chunk of raw materials in most of the tech supply chains, so the ongoing trade wars can significantly impact AMD's performance in the future. So, unless we get a confirmed trade agreement between the US and other countries, the short term seems a little bit uncertain for many of the chip companies. By the way, if you like this video so far or found it useful, I invite you to hit the like button and subscribe. It'll help out this channel, and you won't miss out on future videos. Okay, so now let's talk about the 500-pound elephant in the room, and that's what AMD has going for it. And we can start with value. AMD is trading at around 39 times trailing 12 months PE, which is roughly the same as Nvidia, which is trading at around 47 times its earnings. Unfortunately, Intel is faring badly right now with negative earnings, so we can't really compare with PE. But overall, based on PE, AMD is trading at a relatively fair value against its closest peer. Then we need to consider another significant factor, its acquisitions. Xilinx and Pensando Systems, for example, have allowed AMD to diversify its client base by expanding its applications to cover everything from embedded systems to AI inference at the edge. With further optimization on AI models like DeepSeek's version 3, Meta's Llama 4, and Google's Gemma 3, well, AMD is positioning itself to cater to their demands. The company is well on its way to reaching its sustainability goals of achieving a 30x improvement in energy efficiency, AMD processors and accelerators powering servers for AI training, and HPC from 2020 to 2025. And as of 2023, they were already nearly halfway through this goal. This is crucial for data centers, where even small efficiency gains can lead to significant savings in the long term. So, improved efficiency can potentially push clients to choose AMD hardware over the competition. Then, there's also its client and gaming segment, which saw 28% growth year over year. Unlike Nvidia, whose main revenue drivers come from hyperscalers and data centers, AMD's client and gaming segment still represents a sizable part of its business, about 39% as of the first quarter in 2025. Also, AMD's Zen 5 CPUs have been well received by the market for gaming and high-bandwidth productivity tasks, beating out Intel's latest Arrow Lake processors in many performance benchmarks while offering better value. The company has also announced an exclusive partnership with Dell, securing a full AMD lineup for its product offerings for the year. Consensus among 42 analysts rate AMD stock as a moderate buy with an average score of 4.36 out of 5. With all these factors in mind, I agree to a certain degree. I think that AMD needs to prove itself to get through some sector and economic headwinds, but the fact that AMD is increasing both on the top and bottom lines says a lot about what could be in store for the future. So what do you think about AMD? Do you think it has a chance to recapture lost market share in the next few years? Let me know in the comments below because I'd love to hear from you. You can also leave a comment if you have any questions or if you want me to cover a specific company. I love hearing from you. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.